fantasy sports. The Morning Grind, presented by Draft. Stevie TPFL and TheSeige are here to jumpstart your analysis on today's DFS slate. Without further ado, here are your hosts, Stephen Young and CJ Kaltenbach.
Welcome, everyone, to the Morning Grind Podcast for November 13th. It's a Monday on TheSeige. No Stevie this morning. For once, this guy decided that, he works so hard all the time. He does it when I can't do it. This time he was like, you know what? I'm in Jacksonville with DB, Noto, and the crew up there. And he's like, you know what? CJ, do it yourself. No, he said nicer than that. Like, CJ, will you please do the podcast? Of course. Like, Stevie, of course I'll do the podcast for you. True hero. Like, this guy works every day for this podcast, whether he's in Tuscaloosa or Charlotte or, any city, like Homestead. This guy works all the time. Props to Stevie. He won't listen to this podcast, so he won't get embarrassed by this. So I'm good with that. So I can deal with that. But I really do appreciate all the listeners out here. I'll do a slightly more monologue because, well, I can do it because no one can stop me. I really appreciate everyone who's a fan of the podcast. Like, I've been traveling across the country unintentionally the last month and a half. And, whether it be Vegas or Boston or St. Louis or Miami, fans of the podcast come out and they're like, hey, let's get a beer. And look, I love the stories. They'll never get old of you guys making money because of the advice we give on this podcast. That never gets old. Never, ever. And so I appreciate it. I know Steve does as well. So, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. So, like, you made the lamps. Don't do it wrong. Like, it's all you, but at least we're glad we gave you a guiding point to move you in the right direction. So, yeah, I got a few more studios on the tour. Follow me on Twitter at TheSeigeDFS. Nashville's up next, and then a few more after that. But I really do appreciate all of you guys, and keep subscribing, keep downloading. Use the iTunes app. Follow the Morning Grind Podcast on iTunes. Download, subscribe. It helps us out. Give us a good rating. But honestly, the most important part is our sponsor. It's Draft. So if you've not subscribed to Draft, I don't know what you're doing. Like, first of all, this weekend, you would have made a ton of money off me. I got obliterated. I had this great idea for three-mans where it was like, I will punt running back, and I'll get Antonio, Julio, and then two of the top six, which turned out to be McCoy, Melvin Gordon, and like Fournette in most of them. Idea on paper was good. Or I guess the idea on paper was good. Reality, no, not so much. But so it goes. But Draft will still be there next week, and I'll be back. So feel free to join there. Use promo code Grinders. You get a free ticket and incentives. We all love incentives. Let's be honest. So, all right, basketball. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 game slate. 3, 6. Check my math ability. 9 game slate. So, all right. So let's start with the first one. It's Sacramento at Washington here. This game is a 210 total with a Washington 11.5 point favorites here. We'll start on the Sacramento side. It's early in the slate. I'm not sure where the vibe is going to be, but I'm actually going to start with Justin Jackson. So before this last game, this is a guy that had closed out the previous 2 games. His last 3 games, he's played 30, and 25 minutes. He's taken 10